Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. Today I'm sharing the cards I made using Love From Lizi's May 2022 card kit. The theme is Kisses and Wishes. As I'm recording this voiceover, the kit and most of the add-ons are still available, and I do have links provided in the description box below. The colors and designs in this kit are so fun and cheerful. So let's go ahead and get started with card design number 1. I'm using a sketch from Sketch Saturday. This is number 552. One of my favorite pattern papers is this mustard yellow with the white flowers and black outlines. I think that color combination has a lot of contrast. On the back side of this pattern paper, there's a black and white gingham print. I wanted to make a card featuring both of those patterns, and I think this sketch works perfectly. Now, I didn't want to bring in any other colors or patterns, so for that narrow strip on the very left, I'm using solid black cardstock. The kit also includes tons of cut-aparts. Some of them are tags, as I'm using on this card, and others are larger 3x4, there's 2x2 sizes, so many different cut-aparts, and mostly sentiments. I love how this tag matches with the pattern paper, but I really didn't want to add that full tag. So I used a circle die and cut out just the image and the sentiment, and then I layered it on a black circle die cut. Before adhering it to the card, I will put a scrap piece of cardstock just on the very right side of the circle where it goes off of that gingham paper, and that'll just help keep everything nice and level. To finish off the card, I'll add a few mini circle peel-offs in the black color. With this being a sympathy card, I decided to keep it nice and flat. That way I won't have to pay any additional postage when I mail it. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 1. For card number 2, I won't be using a card sketch this time. I selected this fun, colorful plaid paper for the background and a couple of the small 2x2 cut-aparts. There's a little kitty with the birthday hat and also the birth yay sentiment. I'll layer the plaid paper on a scallop rectangle die cut using some teal cardstock, and this cardstock is not included in the kit. The kit does include several sheets of colored cardstock, but I always bring in additional cardstock since I love adding lots of layers to my cards. I'll also add one of the sentiment banners that's included in the kit. This is Make a Wish. I'll attach the birth yay down first, and then the little kitty on top, putting both of them at an angle. Then for a little extra decoration, I'm including this fun little shaker heart that's included in the kit. There's lots of gold glitter on the inside, and I'll adhere it right on top of the little kitty. I am putting a scrap piece of cardstock on the lower portion of the heart just so it sits nice and level. The shaker stickers do have adhesive on the back, but I like to add a little bit of liquid adhesive just to make sure it stays in place. And of course I drop it, but luckily I was able to wipe away that extra glue. I tied a teal and white bow using some twine included in the kit, and I'll adhere it using a small glue dot right underneath the Make a Wish banner. Then a final finishing touch, I'll add some peel-offs. These are the mini star style in the gold holographic color. I'll put 2 in the lower left-hand corner, a couple around the birth yay sentiment, and one next to the Make a Wish sentiment. The gold holographic peel-offs are super sparkly. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 2. For card number 3, I'm using a sketch from Sugar Pea Designs. This is Sugar Sketch number 41. And if you are interested in any of the sketches I use in this video, I share all of that information on my coordinating blog post. That link is provided in the description box below, or you can simply head over to kristiemarcotte.com. For this card, I'm using this beautiful pattern paper that's covered in flowers and sweet little birds. And instead of using a pattern paper in the background, I decided to go with craft cardstock. But I wanted to add a little extra detail, so I used a quilted stitch die from Honeybee Stamps. I'll be layering this piece on some teal cardstock, and I did add a couple of teal mirror peel-offs at the bottom of this panel. I'll add ATG tape on the back and layer my card front onto a card base. And for this card, I am leaving that 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. All of my cards in this video are American Standard A2 size, 4¼ inches by 5½ inches. For the little banner that goes across the card, I'm using that same teal cardstock, just cut a fishtail on the right side. And then I'm adding a stitch circle die cut behind, basically following the design of the sketch. I did trim off the bottom portion of that circle since you're not going to see it anyway. Then I popped up that banner using some foam dimension. I added one of the sticker sentiments, and these are included in the kit. This is Sending Hugs Your Way, and it has this beautiful gold foil finish on it. There are 3 sheets of stickers. This is an off-white, there's a light pink or a peach color, and also black. It really is a very sentiment-heavy kit, but it also has all the beautiful pattern papers. Then to finish off the card, I was going to use the sequins, but I didn't really like the placement. I felt that large gold sequin was just too large. So instead I'll use the mini circle peel-offs in the gold mirror color. I'll put 3 of them around the sentiment. Then I felt that upper right-hand corner needed just a little something. I'll add a small banner that I cut from the same teal cardstock. If you struggle cutting out your own banners, you can always use a die. Most of the time I'll end up cutting my own just so I can have that custom size. I'll adhere that in place with liquid adhesive and also add a couple more of the mini circle peel-offs. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 3. For card number 4, I'm using another sketch from Sugar Pea Designs. This is Sugar Sketch number 25. I have this colorful floral paper, and I'm rounding all of the corners using my corner chomper. For the very background, I have this beautiful pearlescent cardstock. It's a light brown color, and the pearlescent cardstock is one of the add-ons you can purchase. I love Lizi's pearlescent cardstock bundles. I'm layering all of these pieces on the same teal cardstock. You'll notice I'm using that quite a bit throughout this kit. Put my card front onto a card base, and now I'll add one of the 3x4 cut aparts. Although I did cut it a little narrower, there was just some extra teal, that light teal color on the side of the image and sentiment. So I simply trimmed that down so it fit better on this card. It was nice being able to trim down this cut apart to fit the dimensions on the sketch without losing any of the image or sentiment. For the 2 little banners that are on the right side, I'm using a light teal and also a pink cardstock. Just cut those fishtails by hand and adhere both of those banners on the back side of this cut apart. I love this little sloth sitting there eating a cupcake. The sentiment, relax, it's your birthday. I'll adhere the cut apart to the card. Keeping this card very simple, decided not to add any extra dimension. For a final finishing touch, I'll use some more of the mini circle peel-offs, this time in the teal mirror color. I'll put 2 on the right side of the little sloth and 1 on the left. There is my finished card, and this is card number 4. Really easy design, but with all of these cut aparts in the kit, you can quickly pop together quite a few cards. For card number 5, I'm using a sketch from Sugar Pea Designs. This is Sugar Sketch number 28. I think the craft color cardstock looks really nice with this kit, so I'll be using it again for the background of this card using the same quilted stitch die. For the narrow strip on the sketch, I'm using some of the washi tape, and this is one of the add-on bundles. It's this beautiful floral design, and I really wanted those colors to pop, so instead of adhering it on the craft cardstock, I placed it on some white cardstock first. I wrapped the ends of the washi tape around the back, that way it won't peel off of the card, since sometimes washi tape will do that. Then I put some double-sided tape on the back of this piece, and this is tape included in the kit. I love that Lizi included a roll of dimension. You may have noticed I was struggling to remove that release paper, and that's only because the very end is on that washi tape, so it has that slight slick feel, and the double-sided tape just wasn't completely sticking, so it was hard to remove that release paper. I'll layer the craft cardstock on some dark green cardstock and then again on some pink cardstock. And the pink is included in the kit. I'll be adding a panel of pattern paper, this fun green polka dot design. Before adhering it to the card, I am putting that scrap cardstock piece on the back side to keep it at the same level as that floral strip. Then I'll put ATG tape on the back of this panel and put my card front onto a card base. For the image and sentiment, I'm adding another cut apart tag. I think this is one of my favorite images. Little cheetah with a floral bouquet on her head. And the sentiment is, "Hey you." I will be popping this tag up using some foam dimension. I also added that strip of cardstock, again just keeping everything at the same level. Remove the release paper and attach my tag to the card. Using the pink and white twine that's included in the kit, I've gone ahead and tied a bow. And I'll adhere it to the card on the top of the tag using a small glue dot. For a final finishing touch, I'll be adding some of the sequins that are included in the kit. It always has a sample size bag. If you love sequins and really like this mix, Lizi does offer the full size bag as an add-on. There are two different shades of pink. There's a brighter pink and then a light pink. I couldn't decide if I wanted that darker pink or the lighter. In the end, I went with that light pink color. I'll put two in the lower left-hand corner and that final sequin to the right of the little cheetah. I'm using an embellishment wand to pick up the sequins, adding just a small drop of liquid adhesive. Then I'll press those in place using the back side of the embellishment wand. Then after looking at the card, I decided to add some peel-offs. This is the Racing Green Mirror color in the Pinstripe style. I'm using the medium width, adding one strip underneath that washi tape, and then just using some smaller pieces above since you won't actually see that full strip. I have a craft knife to trim off the ends. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 5. It's one of my favorites, but do let me know which card is your favorite. For card number 6, using some more craft cardstock, and this time I use a diagonal stitch die from Concord and Ninth for that fun detail in the background. I layered it on some black cardstock, put my card front onto a card base, and the card sketch I'm using for inspiration is from MFT. This is number 286. Instead of the circle element that's on the sketch, I'm adding this large stitched heart die cut, and I use some of the green pearlescent cardstock. The image and also the sentiment strip are some of the cut apart strips that are included on the pattern paper in the kit. I love this image with all the different critters wearing their floral crowns. And the sentiment hello is perfect for any card theme. Now before attaching those two strips, I will add some scrap cardstock pieces on the right and left side where they go off of the heart. Since the pearlescent cardstock is fairly thick, I am using a heavier weight cardstock. So trying to get the right size to fit behind. You can always tell if you have everything level by running your finger along the top. If you feel that noticeable dip or dent, you may need to add more or maybe take away some of those cardstock layers. And I have admitted before, this is a little crafty OCD of mine, but I really think it makes a difference on your finished card. I always want my cards to be good quality, so I use strong adhesive, plenty of it, and also good sturdy cardstock. And I do the same for all of my cards, whether I'm donating them or giving them to my own family. To finish off the card, I'll add some more of the mini circle peel-offs in the gold mirror color. Put 3 in the upper left-hand corner and 2 in the lower right-hand corner. And then after I finished the card, I realized I wanted to add another shaker sticker. So I did add the yellow butterfly on the upper right-hand side of the green heart. For card design number 7, I have some blue tone-on-tone polka dot paper for the background, adding this small strip of the floral paper that I did cut at an angle. Layered that background on some dark blue cardstock, And now I'll be adding some of the ribbon tassel that's included in the kit. This is so fun. I flipped it over, put some double-sided tape on the back, and I'll adhere this piece right underneath that floral paper. Just flip over my card and trim off the ends of that ribbon. And if you notice, there is a circle cut out of the background. I will be using that later on the card. Put my card front onto a card base. I've already stamped out the sentiment. This is Celebrate. It's included on the stamp set that's in the kit. There are 9 different fonts for the word Celebrate, so there's a really good variety of styles. I cut the left side at an angle so it'll be flush to the left side. Then I'll adhere it to the card. For the image on the card, I'll be adding this cute little llama die cut, and this is included in the kit. I cut out the main body from some white pearlescent cardstock, and then I cut it out again from the yellow, teal, and also pink. Use just those few little pieces and inlaid them on the back of the llama. Now I did not feel like inlaying those teeny tiny polka dots, so instead I'm adhering that llama on the blue circle die cut. I did pop up that circle with some foam dimension. And then to finish off the card, I'm adding some of the mini star peel-offs in the gold holographic color. Just put a few of them around that llama image. I dropped one of those tiny stars and it kept bouncing away. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 7. I love how this one turned out. It's so fun with those little tassels. For card design number 8, I'm using a card sketch from Sketch Saturday. This is number 666. I think this is a really fun sketch design. For the background paper, I have this fun light pink with white daisies, and I'll be adding a strip of this word search panel. It's in that same pink color with black letters, although most of it will be covered up. Instead of layering that word search pattern paper on cardstock, I'll be adding some peel-offs, and this is the pink color that's included in the kit. Lizzie recently mentioned that this shade of pink is replacing the prior pink peel-off color simply because the manufacturer couldn't get that original pink anymore. But I think this is a good replacement. It's a beautiful color. I'm also using some of the sway peel-offs in black. On this sketch it has that little stitch design, and I decided to use this sway peel-off instead. I think it adds a really fun pattern. My favorite peel-off styles are the pinstripe and also the mini shapes, but the sway is fun as well if you want to add that wavy element. I'll layer this panel on some black cardstock, put some ATG tape on the back, and adhere my card front onto a card base, leaving that 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. I used some white pearlescent cardstock for that banner piece, and the sentiment is one of the cut aparts that's included in the kit. It has the word thanks with this beautiful floral heart. I'll adhere that in place using some liquid adhesive, and I did trim it down just a little bit to fit better on the sketch. For a few finishing touches, I'm adding a black ribbon bow. Now this is not included in the kit, but it was in a previous kit. I had a little bit of this ribbon left over, and I think it worked perfectly. I'll also use some of the mini circle peel-offs in the black color. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 8. For card number 9, I'll be using one of the image stamps that's included in the set, this little balloon. I thought it would be fun to use this image and create my own background. I didn't want the colors super bright, so I am stamping them off twice on some scrap paper. So starting off with pink, and this is the Pucker Up color from Catherine Pooler, and then I'll also be using Uptown and Tiara. Doing the same thing, just stamping it off once or twice just to get that lighter color. For the yellow color, I'm only stamping it off once, otherwise it would be too faint. I'm adding the image randomly on this white cardstock panel, having many of those images going off the edge. I'm using a stencil mat to stamp on, and this is from Waffle Flower. I absolutely love it. You can get all of that ink on the mat and it wipes off easily with just a baby wipe or a wet cloth. So now I have my fun balloon background. I'll add a plaid pattern paper strip on the bottom. And I decided to add some of the pink iridescent glitter peel-offs along the edge of that plaid paper. These are so sparkly, and they do have glitter, but it is completely sealed, so you will not make a mess at all. Love From Lizi peel-offs are very thin and really don't add much dimension, but I do find that the glitter peel-offs are a little bit thicker. So with some peel-offs, I like to wrap the end around the back, but not with the glitter peel-offs. When I do that, it does add a little bit of a bump. So instead, I do trim those flush to the edge. And if I'm using very thin pattern paper or cardstock, I'll do the same thing and cut the peel-off instead of wrapping it around the back. Next, I'll add one of the tag cut apart. This is Happy Birthday Beautiful. I am popping this up using some foam dimension, and I decided to adhere it at a slight angle. For a little extra interest on the tag, I'm adding a scallop border die cut. Went with this beautiful yellow color. Put some of Love From Lizi's double-sided tape on the back side, and I'll adhere it to the lower area of the tag. Then using two of the twine colors that are included in the kit, I tied a double bow, and I'll attach that on top of the tag using a small glue dot. Then final finishing touch, I'll add some of the sequins. I was really trying to mix sequin colors, but if you watch my videos, you know I very rarely mix my embellishment colors. I don't know why, I just prefer to have that one single color. But I guess if you count the peel-offs as an embellishment, I am mixing colors. I decided to add a few of the gold holographic peel-off stars to that scallop border. I first tried the smallest star, but it was way too tiny. So instead, I'm using the medium-sized star. And this will add just that little extra sparkle. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 9. For my final card design, the card sketch is from MFT. This is number 587. I love this beautiful pattern paper with the soft teal and white. And I'm using both sides of the pattern paper. I cut those strips to 2 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches. And I'm layering it on some of the white pearlescent cardstock. Just to add a little bit of separation between the two pieces, I'm putting a Love From Lizi peel-off in the white color. It's very subtle since it is in white, but it does add a pretty shine. I'll layer this panel on some dark teal cardstock. Then I'll put my card front onto a card base. Now for all of the little circles, there's 2 different sizes. I'm using the grid pattern paper. It's the back side of the floral paper I used on some previous cards. I had just some small little scraps left and it was perfect for making this card. I will be popping up all of those circles using some thin foam dimension. And since they have that grid pattern, I'm trying to make sure all of those lines go in the same direction. I don't think I got it perfect, but I think it's pretty close. For this circle all the way on the left, it does go off the edge, so I did trim that flush. You could also shift everything to the right slightly, but having that one cut circle really adds some extra detail to the card. I'm adhering all of the large circles down first, then it's easier to get the proper placement for those 2 smaller circles. Next, I'll add a small heart die cut inside each of the circles, and I cut these out of the same white pearlescent cardstock. Using liquid adhesive to adhere them in place. I love the soft colors on this card with just that little bit of the bold teal cardstock in the background. So once I have all of my hearts adhered down, I can add a sentiment, and this is another cut apart that's included in the kit, wishing you comfort. I will be popping up this sentiment strip using some foam dimension. With all of the sentiments included in the kit, You'll run out of pattern paper before you run out of sentiments. But I think they'll be really handy to have. You could cut them all out and put them in a little box. Then when you need a sentiment, just rummage through that box to grab the perfect sentiment. I'll remove the release paper and adhere the sentiment on the lower portion of the card. Overall, a very simple design, but I think this is perfect for a sympathy card. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. For the second card, I cut out the donuts from some pattern paper, added some pink polka dot paper, and the floral and bird paper for the background. And the sentiment is "Hello Friend." So here's another look at the 11 cards I made using Love From Lizi's May 2022 card kit. The theme is Kisses and Wishes. As I'm recording this voiceover, the kit and most of the add-ons are still available, and I do have links provided in the description box below. This is a monthly kit, so quantities are always limited. The only way to guarantee receiving a kit is to sign up and subscribe. Love From Lizi always has so many fun products, and this is where I get the amazing peel-offs. Now here's everything I still have left over from the kit. 2 full sheets of cardstock, a little bit of the pink. Now remember, I did bring in a ton of additional cardstock. I have lots of the 6x6 pattern paper scraps and 4 full sheets. And here are all those sentiment and image cut-aparts left over from the 12x12 papers. There are tons. I only used 1 of the sentiment stickers, so I basically have 3 full sheets. Here's what's left of the tassel ribbon. I still have more of the twine. There's the 3 different colors. I have several of the glitter shaker stickers, most of the sequins, and then I have the 3 dies. I ended up only using the llama. There's also a tiny bow and the hedgehog. There's the 3 clothespins, which I never ended up using. I have my pink peel-offs, the stamp set, and also the roll of double-sided adhesive. Still plenty of that left. Be sure to check out the rest of the Love From Lizi design team for more inspiration using this kit. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.